everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another reaction video. Today I'm going to be watching, reviewing, and reacting to Season 1, Episode 4 of Dark. Excuse me, my voice is a little off today. It's kind of dying out on me, so I hope you'll forgive me. I'm going to keep the pre-episode and post-episode chats to a minimum at this point because as you can hear, it's kind of dying out and I don't want it to die completely. So I'm gonna just jump right into episode 4. I'm excited to see if we're gonna pick back up in the present time or if we're gonna be still in the 80s like last episode was. Let's find out. Alright, episode 4 of Dark. Here we go. Sibling love.
Morning. Morning. I'm going to the home to see Dad before work.
Okay. Then I'll take Elizabeth to school. She shouldn't go alone.
Good.
Well, doesn't seem like a particularly happy household altogether. Is it really such an unpopulated area that she could just stop in the middle of the road without even pulling over?
I was looking for evidence. There's actually a big difference.
I mean, I guess that sheds some more light on the setting overall, if it's really that, like, a remote place. Very insular. This doesn't really seem like a smart thing to be doing by yourself.
Where have you been? The phones have been ringing off the hook all morning. Someone must have talked to someone about that dead boy. So what should I say?
Is Ulrich here?
No, why?
Please go through the missing persons database again and include older reports this time. He may have disappeared much earlier. Check for the last 15 years, okay?
Sure, okay.
Anything else?
No. Oh, wait. That red soil. We can't
Wait.
match that stuff to any soil close to where it was found. It must be from the crime scene.
Get Jankowski to look into that.
Wait,
What do we say about the dead boy?
is that random dead kid gonna be a kid that was killed in a different time? Or a kid that, like, came to this time from the future or the past or something?
It's past 10.
Charlotte, is everything okay?
I missed a call you made to me later in the evening on the night that Mikkel disappeared.
I never asked you why you called. Why did you call?
I don't know. I guess I was just calling to say I'd be late and not to wait up. Nothing important.
On Monday, you were at your office all day.
Yeah, I was. I was stuck there writing reports to around.
Uh-oh.
Why do you ask?
Nothing. I remembered I had something sent to your office. Some mail I'd forgotten about and was just wondering if it had arrived.
She suspects her husband?
We haven't received it.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I get he's lying, but you'd have to, like, really not trust your husband in order to think that he could potentially have kidnapped or killed a kid. Right?
Charlotte Doppler. Is this a professional or a private question?
Does it really matter? Was he here with you on Monday?
That's not necessary. I never forget a John or his dick. Peter's is slightly crooked like a dill pickle. Feels weird in my mouth, but you must...
So was he here on Monday or not?
No, he hasn't been back in over a year. He must be getting what he needs somewhere else now.
Okay.
I guess that explains why she doesn't trust him. But even so, I mean, there's a big difference between... Yeah.
Yeah?
Guess what? The bird has the same thing.
Has what? Its eardrums are burst on both sides.
So that's what killed it?
No.
It probably died from losing its bearings in the air and crashing into the ground. The bird's skull was cracked. It happens a lot when an electromagnetic field interferes with their sensory organs.
High voltage power lines?
No,
We're talking voltages in the radio wave spectrum.
like electrical appliances.
And the white spots on the feathers?
Ah, the white spots.
They started appearing after Chernobyl. It's kind of a mutation.
From the radiation?
Ah.
I checked, but its radiation level was normal.
Interesting.
Yeah, quite a mystery. So anything else?
No.
So they have the appearance of something impacted by radiation, but no radiation. Is that a bomb shelter?
What's this?
It's money, you schmuck. It's my money.
Why do you have so much money? You dealing drugs? So that's why you're at the caves?
None of your business how I earn my money.
What were you gonna do with it?
What am I gonna do with it? I'm going to use it to get out of this fucking shithole. Behind everyone's friendly smiles here, there's nothing but lies.
But you're no different. You pretend to be the straight-A student, but that's not you. Why don't you stop lying?
You want the truth? Okay. My parents have slept in separate rooms for over a year. My mom figured out that my dad's really into dicks. Their marriage is done, but they won't say it. But their big fat secret is always at our table there with us. It eats our toast and butter, and it devours our homemade marmalade. It keeps getting fatter, while its despair grows, filling all the space in our home. Until you can't breathe!
Mhm. That was fast. That happened fast.
So where were you then? And it took you so long to walk home?
Met someone?
Where and who did this? I want to know just who gave you this watch. Who is Noah?
Okay. Alright. Okay. Well, that was episode 4. You know, as I mentioned before, because my voice is not ideal, I'm just gonna be quick tonight and, just touch on a couple of things. The first is, this episode seemed very focused around Charlotte and her family, who have been in all of the previous episodes, but in more kind of secondary spots, and they really got a lot more of a highlight here, which was interesting to see, especially as she is somebody that is sort of one of the first people that seems to be making this kind of connection about the pattern with the past repeating itself. And interesting that it is her when it's her father-in-law who is like saying all these things about having to stop what's happening again and needing to tell people, and then there's that weird bunker that's on her. I guess though that's on her husband's and father-in-law's property, right? And then the kind of weird goings on where her daughter seemingly disappears for a little while and then shows back up completely unharmed and says, hey, this Noah, who her father-in-law also says is the person that has to be stopped, gave me this watch. And he said it used to belong to you. And it says for Charlotte right in the watch, it's engraved. So this Noah has, for some reason, wanted to pass that on to Charlotte and did so through her daughter, but didn't take her daughter for the various experimentations. And then we see at the end the Poncho Man saying to the little girl's boyfriend, Noah sent me, and presumably he's about to grab that kid, and so presumably Noah, being the one who has to be stopped, is somehow connected to all the kids that are being taken back to this room and experimented on and killed. But he didn't take Charlotte's daughter, so that's interesting, something to think about. And then, let's see, and in addition to that, I was going to talk about one other thing. I'm sorry, my brain is like fried today for some reason. Oh yes, and then I also just thought it was interesting and strange, as I had said before, that she seemed to be genuinely suspecting that her husband could somehow be connected to the murdered boy and the disappearance of the kids. And she saw evidence that he lied about where he was on that night around that time. So it makes sense that she would think that he was, hiding something. But that's... you'd have to really distrust someone in order to think that they could be involved in murdering and kidnapping children. And I get, we found out later on that, he cheated and he obviously kept secrets about his sexual preferences. So clearly there's serious trust issues, and that makes sense. But even so, there's a huge leap from that to kidnapping and murdering children. So I'm curious if there's more secrets or things that have happened between them that we don't know about that will kind of come out too, maybe. And then the one other thing, and it was just so briefly mentioned, but with the body of the kid that was found when they were searching for Mikkel, and now Charlotte is saying, go back way earlier and see about missing persons, even like 15 years or so. I mean, it seems like that's suggesting that maybe that kid, and the reason that nobody can identify him right now, maybe that kid is somebody who was from a different time, and then just somehow his body wound up there. So that's also interesting, and all tying back into what exactly are they experimenting on these kids for? What is the purpose? What are they trying to achieve? Yeah. So there's a lot more questions. I feel like that seems to be the case with each successive episode, is you get a little bit deeper into the story overall, but you find just more questions over that time period. But you are getting to know the characters quite a bit more. So it's I like the way it's developing. It's very interesting. I'm very curious to see where we're going. But alright, I said I wasn't going to talk and then I babbled on for a long time anyway. So I think I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you have questions, comments, please do leave them down below. And otherwise, I'll just say thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.